Hello, welcome to part 3 in this series. We're going to be taking on section 4, the Berlin Airlift, and also the formation of NATO and the Warsaw Pact in this lesson. So make sure you have your Cornell notes ready and your textbook open. One of the first things I want you to do is to watch this video right here. You're going to click on the link, and it's going to take you to a short video to summarize what was really happening inside of Germany. Germany is kind of this microcosm for the struggle between the US and the Soviets. Because remember, Berlin, the capital city, has been divided into 4 quadrants, and even the entire country of Germany is divided into 4 quadrants. So take a second, watch this quick video, and in the video it's going to bring up some very important terms for you: the Berlin blockade, the Berlin airlift, and NATO. So make sure you get those vocabulary terms in your notes. So in 1948, the French, the British, and the Americans decided to merge their zones into a single state, and they called it West Germany. Stalin, feeling like they were ganging up on him, decided to close off his section of Berlin. Remember that the capital city of Berlin is in his portion. So he cuts off access to highways and railroads, and it's just shocking to the other 3 countries. One of the downsides of this act by Stalin is that the people within that sector of Berlin, they really rely on the other 3 sectors to get their necessary goods. So it almost goes into this starving campaign for the people that are inside of the Soviet sector of Berlin. But the Allied forces, led by the United States, begin to conduct these round-the-clock dropping off of goods and supplies to the people trapped in East Berlin. The diagram of it, I mean, every 3 minutes there was a drop-off, whether it's toiletries or water or MREs, meals ready to eat, food. And it really doesn't help Stalin in his goal to control this portion of Berlin, because it only makes the people resent him even more and want to be a part of what the Americans, French, and British are doing. So again, this is the country of Germany, but the capital city of Berlin, you see it as black and red. The black is the area that is joined. The French, the British, and the Americans have joined their section, and the red is controlled by Joseph Stalin. So East Germany is communist, and East Berlin is communist, and West Berlin is free and democratic. But around the clock, these airplanes are dropping off goods and supplies to the people of Berlin. So here's a question from the STAR exam. Take a second, pause, read it, do your best. All right, so the second part of this video, the formation of NATO and the Warsaw Pact. So take a second, check out this link right here where you can hear President Truman talking about the creation of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Now this is a diagram from 1999. It's really current, but you can see the countries that decided to join this modern day allies versus Axis powers kind of thing. So those in yellow are the members in NATO, and those in brown are not aligned. Green is new members that joined. But it's a defense treaty. That's what NATO is. So click on this link right here, and I want you to listen to Harry Truman speak. What does he hope the formation of NATO will bring to the world? And record that answer in your ISN. Check out this cartoon here. So this depicts the nations that signed the treaty that created NATO in 1949. Notice that the nations are shown as hats and they're arranged in a pyramid to show the bigger countries on the bottom supporting the smaller countries or the weaker nations on top. So what are some things that you notice, and what do you think is the central message of this cartoon? Jot those answers down in your notes. So here's another question regarding NATO that came from the star. Start realizing that and we can't gloss over these subjects. We got to understand them because these are questions coming directly from the star. So make sure you're getting it down. Who are the groups that made up the Warsaw Pact? Let's go to page 263. So you didn't think that Stalin was just going to sit back and let the United States, the French, and the British start to form alliances around him and he not react. In the blue, according to the key, you have the NATO states, and in the red, you have the Warsaw Pact. Warsaw, capital of Poland, but it's a military alliance driven by Joseph Stalin and the USSR. So really there begins to be this friction, and the Soviets are starting to put down anyone who is seen as rebelling against communism. In Berlin, they begin to build this wall to officially separate themselves from the more democratic capitalist governments in West Berlin. If you're really interested about the building of the Berlin Wall, then click on this video here, and there's a good 2-3 minute clip about how the wall was made. So the Berlin Wall has been taken down, but there are remnants of it today in Berlin. And this feature right here is called the Brandenburg Gate. It's famous in Berlin because it was kind of the feature that divided East Berlin from West Berlin. On one side, it would be communist, controlled by the Russians, and on the other side would be free, democratic, and you were able to come back and forth as you please in that area, as long as you stayed on this side. It's a pretty interesting history. All right, stay tuned for the final portion of the roots of the Cold War when we talk about China becoming a communist nation.